Going on, everybody? Welcome to the third episode of Maria in the Mix. I'm Maria, aka Dee Jay Ria, and I am super excited to welcome to the platform and the stage today some of my close, sexy, beautiful, amazing, talented, intelligent women, but also my friends, my peoples, my fellow female DJs to the stage. I'm super excited about this femme bot party we about to have. But my girl Dee Jay, Nyla in the building, and my girl Qlynn holding down New York City, baby.
Hey.
Pew, 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 pew. I need some some sound effects.
Sound effects. I know.
Right? As DJs, we should have sound effects. Like I should just have them. I'm bringing my set next time and have a sound effect.
Right.
But yes, everybody, I just want to welcome these two amazing women. DJ Sage should be on the way. She had an earlier podcast, so hopefully she could tune in. But I just want to welcome to the stage other female DJs. And tonight we're going to just discuss what it is, one, to be a female DJ in this industry, how everything's going during quarantine, what's going on with you ladies, and what's going on, and you guys, like what you guys have up and coming and stuff like that. So we're going to get down just to the nitty gritty. And we're first going to start with DJ Nyla, okay? Shout out to Nyla. Started off in the Bronx, right? My girl, holding down the BX, home of the hip hop. So Nyla, we're gonna start off with you, and we just want to know first off how you just kind of got into the game.
Woo! Where do we start? No, but seriously, yes. So I'm from the Bronx. Bronx is winning right now. If anybody had any questions, we are winning right now. But yeah, from the Bronx. What else can I say about myself? I've been DJing now for, I always forget this. It's been like about 13 years now.
Wow.
Yeah, right?
Wow, yes.
For me, DJing was just an inevitable thing for me. Like, I've just always loved music and like had like a passion for it. And I just remember like being young and being around DJs and not really knowing like what they were doing, but being so intrigued by it. And I never really acted on it at first because I actually was into acting first, which I still am. We can segue into that later. So that's kind of really where I put my focus in. So after I went to school at Florida A&M, that's HBCU in the land. After I went to school there and I came back to New York, I actually moved to LA. I was out there for a pretty long time pursuing the acting. And like I said, the music was just there. It was just always there in my ear. It's like, yo, what are we doing? What are we doing? Like, I used to want to produce at one point, but the DJing was just like always calling me. So I finally out in LA decided to like give it a chance. I actually went to Scratch Academy. I took a couple of private lessons. Shout out to Scratch Academy. And from there, it was just kind of like just learning things on my own, meeting other DJs. And once I really learned how to DJ, I fell in love with it. Like anyone who has learned how to DJ on turntables, that feeling is literally like seeing a fine ass dude that you've been seeing for so long and y'all never really talked, but y'all used to flirt with each other and y'all knew like a lot of the same people and y'all finally hang out and you like, yo, this is like where you been my whole life. That's how it was when I touched the pair of turntables. So I literally fell in love ever since and I haven't looked back and it pays the bills for me. So it's like, how can you not be in love with doing your passion and making money? So that's been my DJ journey, and it's been successful. And I've met amazing people, Lynn, and all the other DJs that I've met on my journey. And it's just been one of the best decisions I've ever made in life, becoming a DJ.
That is so awesome. And technically, you know, OG in the game, you've been grinding and want to continue to keep doing this, I'm hoping, with your future and everything like that.
Absolutely. I'll never stop DJing, like ever. I mean, whether it turns into something where I'm teaching.
Yeah.
It was actually crazy, a full circle moment for me. Like I learned how to DJ at Scratch, and here we are years later, and actually started managing the New York location when I moved back to New York.
Nice.
So it was amazing to be to give back to something that poured into me and turned me into the person that I am, and just meeting like old and young. And I mean, these are people that are like doctors and lawyers, and they've always had a passion for it, and they just never thought this was something that they could do as a hobby or they could do as a full-time job. And meeting young kids, especially little girls who are like, I never knew, female DJs were around, and being so like, enamored by us. Like, I love that feeling. So I would love to open up like a school and just really give people the foundation, because unfortunately we've come to a point in DJing where a lot of people want the fast way and they don't really want to learn the fundamentals. And like I said, once you touch a pair of turntables, you will understand why DJs are passionate about being DJs. Because once you really learn the craft and you really know what goes into it, you understand why it is so important to keep this culture alive, and not shortcut and just try to find shortcuts. Like, CDJs are great, controllers are great, but if you don't know how to you don't know how to play on a pair of turntables with 2 needles or no needles in the case of the new turntables, you ain't DJing. Like,
right?
So I want to be able to just keep that art form alive. And like I said, no matter what I do, I'm always gonna DJ. That's never gonna stop. I got way more hustles, but that's actually like one of my first loves right there, DJing.
I love it. That's so beautiful. And I love how the synergy all works and it comes back full circle from technically where you started to where you're at now, and being able to have that lane and that outlet available, especially like you said, for female DJs. So I think that is so awesome and like super, super dope. And Qlynn, sis, how did you get started?
Oh my gosh. How do I tell this story without sounding crazy? Okay. So first love, what I thought was radio. And so like I went to school for it, for everything behind the scenes, to become a personality, all this stuff, right? And so I was, what year was this? Never mind. I was like, what am I missing in terms of like being a personality woman on the radio? I was in the South at the time. And so like, you don't really hear female DJs.
Right.
That's what was missing. And so I was like, oh, you know what? I want to learn. And I approached a friend of mine down there. They were going to teach me, but then I got the internship at Sirius. And I had no time. I was like, I got to go. Like, I'm out, pack my stuff, move to New York. Wow. 2 weeks living here. I ran into my now fiance, and we met in the club, and I was like, yo, do you teach? Because I'm gonna try to make this short. First of all, I was having the time of my life. I don't even remember the DJ's name who was playing. Me and my friends were having the time of our lives. And I guess the DJ swap was coming. And so like in the South, there really isn't a DJ swap because the time frame of the club is so short, right? And so I hadn't experienced this at all, to be honest with you. Like, I haven't partied in New York. And so the DJ swap was kind of like dead air, person on the mic, and then vibe change. And so he gets on and he plays VSOP. Meanwhile, I was just jamming to some fucking reggae. I was jamming to reggae. So I basically start cursing him out from the floor. Like, what are you doing? You're not what? An hour and a half later, I think he played for like an hour and a half. I was sweating. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to turn my life. And so I approached him to teach me how to DJ. And that's all she wrote. Like, he taught me, I'm going to be honest, here's another honest moment. He only taught me one thing.
Yeah.
He taught me how to blend. He showed me the program, and I played around with it in YouTube and learned the program. But he pretty much showed me how to blend, and then was like, here you go, sis, drop off, do you, and everything else just kind of came naturally, not understanding that, like she said, I was going to fall in love, and I did. I didn't understand the passion. Yeah, I didn't understand the passion for music that I had until I started playing it for other people, and it was like, oh, okay, so I see you.
Now you found the passion for music and the love of your life, right? Like all because of DJing. So DJing brought you the love of your life, right?
Absolutely. Who is also a DJ, right?
And we need to see the rock, sis. Bring that rock in. Bring that rock. Let's show how good he did. Let's show how good he did. He did so good.
I'm like, my pinky nail is broke.
I love it.
That's that DJ money right there.
That is that DJ money all day, people.
They be flexing on us, but we really be making some money now.
Yo, I love it. So speaking of how we got into DJing, ladies, let's just talk about how y'all got your name. So I started with Nyla. Qlynn, let's go with you first. How did you get your DJ name and how did you start your DJ name?
So DJ name actually started from when I was in school for it, right? And so I had learned the culture that like radio personalities back in the day, our names, because I still consider myself one, they considered us DJs because the art of DJing hadn't been formed yet. Right. And so I wanted an on-air name that just went and flowed. My first name is Quanisha and my middle name is Lynn. And so I started using on my resume Qlynn, last name Gray, because I realized my first name wasn't getting me hired. It was too black. It was too black. And so it was a great way to shorten it up. And then so one of my best friends was like, yo, DJ Qlynn. Like she just said it. And it was just like, like you the one. Right, you the one. Because I just kept saying it until it just felt like that's who you are. So it wasn't necessarily the art of it, but more so the culture that bring me my name.
I love it. But you also consider yourself the unicorn. Where did that come from? Besides you being out of this world.
Facts. It was just that mystical, magical part of it, like of a unicorn. Like they, there's this thing that people just like you talk unicorn and it's like, you know what I mean? Like, where'd you come from? And so like I used to feel like that. I would play and people like, oh, where'd you come from? And it'd be like, I don't know, I'd be out here doing it, whatever. And so I just kind of felt like that's where that, like, it fell into place. And I love, like, all unicorn poopy stuff. I like that stuff.
I love it.
I'm weird like that.
Listen, that's you, but that's your lane. That's you. And that's, you know what I'm saying? That's what I really love about us being, our sisterhood as female DJs, because we all are in the same grind. You know what I'm saying? We even DJed 2 weeks ago, all together, ladies night Thursday at Made in Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? And we can all spin the same music, ladies, but it's how we play it. And we all have our own niche, you know what I'm saying? And our own niche, like how we all bring that to the table. And we all have our different lanes and outlets, but we all come together on this sisterhood factor of it. So like, I love you guys to death already. And I'm so happy we met and have been able to collab. You know, Nyla, I've known you forever, and Qlynn in the past few years, we've just got even closer with a lot of the projects that we have as female DJs trying to come together. So I'm super fortunate to, be blessed, because when I started DJing, especially Nyla knows, like even 10, 12 years ago when we've been doing it, like there weren't that many female DJs in the game. And if there were, they were in that circle, in that elite circle, if they knew Jay-Z or somebody like that, or they worked with an artist. It wasn't how it is today, and how you can come up and how you can move and really create your own lane, or, your own platform for the stuff that we're doing today, ladies. And it's creating so many outlets, and especially it's giving back, because there's so many young ladies, just like you said before, Nyla, that young girls are looking up to us now. Like, I didn't even know there were female DJs, and like what you guys do is amazing, and people love us. People love female DJs because we actually know how to play too, and we're not just a pretty face.
This is what I'm saying. And to piggyback on what you said, like, and I really noticed, like, with the female DJs and the male DJs, you would assume, oh, girls are catty, they don't get along. The camaraderie between the female DJs that I can speak for is so strong. And it's strong, and I'm going to tell you why. Because we are all so confident in ourselves, and we know that what we bring to the table is also different, but it meshes so well together. Because, and you are like some of my favorite that I like to play with, because we kind of all like the same songs, but we won't play the same songs. We won't play them the same way. We won't play them at the same time, but we all have high energy. We like love to be each other's cheerleaders when one is deep. We're not on the sideline like, oh, you want to play that? Now I'm right behind you, being your backup dancer. You know what I'm saying? Like giving the same energy. And we
legit.
Each other, and I love that so much. That's why I love to DJ with you ladies specifically, and other female DJs, because the energy that we bring is like no other. Like, no disrespect to the guys, y'all are amazing. I love y'all, but y'all don't bring that same energy that women bring. We bring such a passion, such a fresh take to DJing, and that's how we get along. You know what I'm saying? Like
100%.
There's no competition. At least not with us. There's some chicks out there that think we in competition, but
right.
we ain't, because
I was just about to say there's some chicks that's catty.
There are some
and
catty.
I'd be like, but why? Like, you don't even understand. We could be best friends. I could put you on. I got sis that could put you on.
Exactly.
You're wilding. Okay, kill yourself. Because that's what you're doing. You're killing yourself. But it's cool. She right.
Exactly.
She right.
With
no, she name, is.
I have actually really funny story with my name.
Yes.
So I always tell people, most people don't know my real name. So my real name is Fatu. I need to actually start saying it more, because as an actress, when people start seeing me and they see the name, I'm like, damn, no, it's like Nyla. Why does she have that name? So how I came up with Nyla was when I was living in LA and I finally decided to transition into being a DJ. I always wanted a cool name, but I never wanted something very cliche. You know what I'm saying? Like DJ Sexy Turntables, or like DJ, like, just, I don't want anything like that. Like, I always wanted it to be a name, a brand, like a brand that I could take to anything, whether I'm DJing, whether I'm starting a clothing line, whether I'm a CEO of this company. If I want to use this name, it could be a brand. So I literally remember going on Facebook and like asking people, like, what's your opinion? What should I have? Of course, they had like, DJ New York to Los Angeles, NY to LA. I'm like, I don't really like any of that. So I took a little bit of what everybody was saying, and I'm like, well, I'm from New York and I live in LA. So I was like, that's NY and that's LA. And I was like, if you put that together, Nyla, that's a name. I know lots of Nylas. So I'm like, that's it. I'm going to go by Nyla. And like, to this day, most people don't even know my real name. Like, you got to be close friends with me, or like you done some business where you needed like my government. But most people don't, because it's a believable name. Like, there's lots of Nyla. So it doesn't sound like, well, that can't be her name, or that's just her DJ name. So yeah, that's how I came up with my name. But
I love it. I love it. And it works out perfectly. The fact that it is actually a name and it works. I know. Exactly. I love it. People, I had the same issue, because I was like, I don't want to be like DJ Chocolate or Caramel or Dime Piece. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't want to have a crazy nickname, and like DJ Freckles is not going to work for me. So I had to think of like something fun, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, well, my nickname is Rhea. And like, I never really had a nickname. It actually formed in basketball, because like, it was too long. My name is Maria, but it's too long to say Maria on the court for some reason. Like Maria, like, so everyone was like, Rhea. So that became my nickname. So like, I always had a nickname since I was like 15, 16. So I was like, okay. So I just went with Rhea, and that's how I ended up with DJ Rhea.
And that works.
And it's everything that you guys chose as well is like a bit of us, and it relates to us and what we're doing in our lives and where we've come from. So I think that's beautiful. I literally think that's beautiful. And speaking of where we come from and what's going on with us right now, yes, cheers to that, girl. Oh. Ding, ding, ding. Yes, my ladies. It wouldn't be a party if we ain't have a little sip.
I'm sorry, I don't have a classy glass. I got the red cup. I ain't trying to do dishes tonight, so I got the red cup.
It's getting late. Ratchet hours coming up soon, so it's fine. You're allowed to have the Dixie cups. You remember the Dave Chappelle special when he had the Dixie cups in one of his episodes when he was doing MTV Cribs? That was one of my favorite episodes. You gotta look that up.
Yes, please look it up, but don't look it up on Netflix. Sorry, because we're boycotting him on Netflix.
Boycotting Netflix.
He shut that down. He shut it all the way down.
I know they have to pay him. They have to pay him, because he deserves every bit of it.
Every penny.
Every single bit. Like, especially with all his realness he's been speaking during quarantine. That quarantine special, like, he's so artistic but so talented and amazing at the same time, because how he can make something funny but real and speak and preach the truth and be like, haha, it's funny but it's not, like, and literally
he gonna say some.
That's what I was just gonna say. Grab your attention.
When he grabs it, you're gonna be like, "Wow, David's doing some real stuff right now."
Exactly.
Word.
And it's like you want to laugh, but you can't because it's so real, but he's actually being so informative at the same time. And I appreciate that, him being able to like conclude what's going on in this world today and then mesh it with at least comedy and try to make some light of it, you know, because what's going on is insane, you know. And speaking of what's going on with everybody, how are you ladies holding up? Like, I know I'm struggling over here. There's a lot going on. I, you know, have a few other things in the works, but as being an independent, you know, being artists out here, freelancing, the things that we do and relying on clubs and stuff, like it's super difficult. I know for me, and like I put a smile on each and every day because God put us here. And I know he woke me up every day that I got to grind and do something, but it's still so difficult. So who want to take a turn at this real quick? Like how has quarantine been treating you and how have you been getting through it?
So it was definitely a struggle in the beginning, trying to fit in, like, what do you do now?
Right.
You know, like we wear many hats, got a lot of stuff going on outside of being a DJ. So I think that was like my saving grace. Right. And also that I had incorporated myself in my other business and so had my fiance and stuff like that. So like super saving grace, but I mean, it was kind of stressful because it's like you want to get out there, you want to DJ. So, you know, you've been doing the Instagram live thing and they're cutting us off and it's all this craziness. I just got notifications today that 2 of my videos that have been up for months now.
For months now.
Blocked.
Same
I was
here.
like, whatever.
Same here.
So, you know, it's hard in a sense. But the main thing for me was to just keep positive and then focus my energy somewhere where I could actually do something about it. So like building the brand on my hair and taking that brand to the next level, adding certain things, taking away certain things, like that really, really kept me going. It did damage a little bit how I felt about DJing. Like now it's like you feel, well, I feel, not say you, I feel disconnected just because I haven't been out there that much. I've been in tune with the music. I've been staying up to date and kind of like downloading what I have to download. But like when you focus your energy so much on one thing and then have to switch it, you kind of disconnect with that other thing. And so like I'm trying to find my connection now that outside's like halfway open, and trying to get back to that point, like that love, like, oh, I gotta do this. I gotta do it.
I know. I feel you. I've been in the same struggle and having the same thing, even to get up and do lives and want to do them, you know, because like we still have that advantage here in New York to be able to go out a little bit, but then also, you know, have some flexibility. So it's like, but then as well, there still are a lot of people connected online. And that's kind of, you know, with a second lockdown coming, it looks like that's kind of the direction we're going to have to head into again. So like, I totally get what you're saying about getting that feeling and wanting to do it and stuff, because like to even just want to get up and do it, like it's hard to be disconnected from the crowd, because when you actually feel the people out there, you know what songs move them, you know what, when you try new songs, what they go with and what they feel, right?
I feel like that's what people miss, and that's what they don't understand, and that's why the DJ is so important, and why people think that we're not, but we are, because like that connection. Like playing on live is cool and we have fun and the people are, you know, cheering you on and stuff, but there is still a connection you're building with people. And so 100%. Like when you can't see them or you can't build that authentic connection, it's hard and it's crazy. Yeah. Whatever. Yeah. So like, I'm over it too. I'm over it.
I feel you. And just how we connect with our fans, our audience, that is the music we're playing is for them. So to not get that connection and synergy and feedback, you know, it goes all hand in hand. Like, so you wouldn't have an artist without the engineer and the producer and all that. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's the same thing I feel for us. Like we can still be DJs, but it's not the same without the crowd and the vibes and the music and
we all need each other.
The venue.
We all need each other for something to go right. And I don't know about y'all, but I'm tired of DJing on live. Like I know I've seen a couple recently. With my home, shout out to DJ Bella Fox in LA, but she came up with a really good concept. We do like a little versus DJ style. Like we'll pick two artists. And we'll go back and forth, like playing songs, you know, like giving our stories about like what the song meant to us or where we were in our lives. So that I enjoy doing. But as far as getting on live, I can only but go so much and get so much energy off of these little comments that y'all are giving me. Like, this is cool that y'all let me know y'all like the song and all that. But that's not the same energy I get when I throw a song on and I see somebody on the dance floor going crazy, or like girls is twerking, or dudes are like, oh my, like that. There's nothing like to see people's expression when you drop a song. Like, it's just nothing like
Right.
that. We can't feel that on IG Live. And I know we were doing it like as DJs, you know, whether people were trying to get money or just for like for our sanity, but I'm over it. But for me, I'm gonna be honest, and I always feel very weird having to say this. This COVID thing was an amazing thing for me. Obviously not with, you know, people losing their lives and
right.
sick and nobody working. Like, aside from the money, because first of all, I don't worry about money because God always got me. I don't sit here and harp on money because literally, like, my God got me. Like, every time I sit here and I don't worry about money, I get a notification that something came into my bank account. So aside from the money, this time has really given me that break and that reset that I needed, because I felt like I was getting to a point where I was like, I'm DJing, but there's the acting that I love and that was the first, and I'm putting it to the back burner, and I keep saying, okay, well, tomorrow I'm gonna do this and tomorrow I'm gonna do that. So with this COVID, it's like, okay, boom, guess what? No DJing. Here you go. Here's all the time in the world. Do all the acting stuff you said you wanted to do. So I was like, all right, cool. Heard you, Lord. There's a school in London that only had a location in Los Angeles and London. Because of COVID, they started doing online classes. I was accepted into that. I've been doing that since April. Yeah, literally. Like, it's one of the best schools to be a part of. I've been doing that since April. I've been like doing workshops with like big casting directors and different agents and just learning how, like, because not only has the DJ industry changed, but the whole entertainment industry, like as far as movies and televisions, like things are different now. As far as castings, there's no more in person. Everything is a self-tape now. So now I'm learning the art of self-tape. You know, how to light myself, how to look good in this. You know, there's the art of doing an audition on Zoom now. So it really gave me the time to really not only fall back in love with acting, but to really sharpen my skills and to really know that, okay, now I definitely know that I got more than one hustle. Now I definitely know it's not just like, now I'm ready to go out here and audition and book this big TV show, this next movie. I started a business. I wanted to do candles for the longest. I finally was able to start that during COVID as well.
Yes.
I was literally, I mean, it was like you ain't got nothing to do. You ain't got nothing but time. Sit here, make it all happen. And I did it. So I'm grateful for it because it really showed me that you have more than one hustle and you can take time to work on each of them, and you don't have to just focus on one. You can do them all. Just set aside time for this and time for that and time for that. Like, we could do whatever we want in life. We really we don't have to have
seriously
whatsoever.
Preach, girl, preach. No, I mean, what people don't understand is not only are we just talented in general, just through DJing, etc., but just like me, you ladies have so many other lanes and outlets and things that you do. For example, Triple Crown Beauty down there, boutique, like, you know, you have your own hair salon, hairstyle, everything. And then with you, Nyla, you have, you know, both of you have children. Like, we didn't even touch on that. Like, you women are super women. Like, you have all this to deal with, and then you have children. So, like, I don't have kids. I don't even know how y'all are doing this and still being able to prevail and still doing everything that you're doing.
We became teachers during COVID. That too.
And you guys became teachers.
I became somebody's teacher, principal, lunch lady. I became all of that during COVID. Like, literally, you had to become everything when you had a child. Like, it was serious.
I can't even. And like, I know you have a big family down there, Q, you know, and even you now, like with your son, like you guys have a lot on your plate. So I totally understand, like, even just trying to find out what's going to be next and what you're going to focus your time on. So one, I just want to congratulate you both on your businesses and everything that you're doing, being business women. And especially you, Nyla, I didn't even know that you had the acting going on. So congrats to that and your new candle company, and anybody that needs hair, you know what I'm saying? Or a hair hookup. Triple Crown Beauty down there. You know what I'm saying?
You're the master of many hats. You've been the master of many hats, so you already know how that goes. Like, you know.
Exactly.
You gotta hustle. And you know how we're from New York, baby. So like, you know, we always hustle and we're always running around trying to fill in the blanks and do other things when we can't get something done. So like, that's just something I know how we're built different. So that's the one thing I appreciate, that New York put the battery in our back to get, you know, to build us differently and move differently from the rest of the world and other, you know, because in this industry, being female in this industry is, you know, kind of cutthroat. So like, you know, speaking on that, ladies, how, you know, is it being in this industry, a male dominated industry, and trying to find our way, trying to get respect, you know, in this misogynistic world that we live in at times?
I was trying to keep my facial expressions, but I don't know how.
We're going to go with you first, Q, because I know, you know what I'm saying, especially you having a female, you know, and male duo, you know, you and your husband also, you know, it's a weird clashing world, but at the same time, you guys come together because you do have a couple of DJs, you know, that is another thing that you guys have that we'll talk on in a second. But I think that's super dope. But no, like, how do you feel about, you know, this male dominating industry that we are trying to shine our light and come through super fly hard with, you know?
I will say this, and I say it all the time.
Let me take a drink before she starts, because I already know what she's going on.
No, I'm not. I promise, I'm not. But it's not easy, okay? And for instance, I know that you ladies have been at it longer than I have, right? And so it had to be harder for you, and then it got a little easier when I came in it. What, 7 years ago, almost? Yeah, 7 years come January. And so when I came around, there weren't that many names that are here now. You know what I mean? Right. So I feel like even now today, it's even easier. But my experience in the beginning was like, if you ain't have one of these things flapping around in your pants, right, child, nobody was listening to you unless you was doing one of these or doing one of these. And right, I was just like, but why I gotta be all that? I'm a DJ.
Right.
That's it. And as far as you mentioned in my fiance, like, for a long time, I used to feel hovered by his shadow. And not purposely, but just because he was who he was to who we knew.
Yeah.
Or like, you know, his name would ring bells in one place where it'd be like, well, who are you? You know what I mean? And so like living in that shadow was hard too, probably harder than anything else, but I don't know what to tell y'all.
For you, you feel like people used to look at you like, oh, she's not a real DJ. She just dates him, so she just acted like she.
There was that.
Yeah.
There was that, and then they would hear me and have their whole foot in their mouth. Okay. And I did not take it as a compliment when they would come to the booth, like, oh, I didn't know you could really DJ. I want to punch you in your mouth.
Exactly.
Then there was, no, for real. These were my real feelings. I was in my mid-20s. I wanted to punch everybody, okay? And then there was we need to ask him first.
What?
No. Hold on.
We need to ask him first.
Yes. There would literally be people who I would have a whole conversation with about working and like, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. And then they would end up on his line. Like, yeah, so and then he would come to me like, yeah, because this person, and I'm like, but I just had that conversation with him. I told him it was good. I told him it was a go. So the process of splitting us apart business-wise, because we're both DJs. Of course, we do a lot of business together. Of course, we're outside together all the time. And that's great. But when I'm talking to people, business, this is, cut the line down the middle, my nigga. Like, we're not the same person. Right. And so the struggle has always been real. I think that it's still a struggle in a sense, not as much because now a lot more people have heard me. They know who I am and they appreciate that a little bit more. I got a little bit more respect, but like back then, I want to pull people's heads off their shoulders. Like, ugh.
No, I couldn't even imagine. It's already hard to get respect. And then you're kind of, like you just said, in the shadow of your man. But the good positive thing is, though, I loved how y'all made it a beautiful thing. You guys can check out their IG. They turned it into a couple of DJs, like with the word couple in it. So not only is it catchy, is it cute, but you still get to work with the love of your life, you know? So like, I love how you turned something that was a negative into a positive regardless and made it work for you guys. Like,
and that's what we tried to do. So we tried to say, hey guys, here's us as a DJ couple and a family, and like this is all the crazy stuff we do. And then you have DJ Mr. Famous, and then you have DJ Qlynn. You know what I mean? Separate pages, separate so like we were trying to accomplish splitting the dynamic of like, okay, this is her and her business, this is him and his business, and then this is them together.
Yes, I think you guys did really well, and I feel like it's working, and I feel like especially with you doing your own thing, like you said, definitely getting your own recognition and making your own ways. So like, kudos to you, and I'm so proud of that. You know, always, sis. And Nyla, what do you feel about this male-dominated, misogynistic industry?
So for me, in the beginning of my career, it was a lot of guys who acted like they wanted to help me.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But they really just wanted to do something else. This is a family show, so I'm not going to use the word that I want to use.
I know those guys. I know those guys.
We know what they wanted to do.
Yeah, like
some of those guys.
Yeah, you want to DJ? You know, you should come out of the crib and come at this time. Like, wait, what? So you got a lot of those, but I ain't no sucker, so I'm not falling for that. Or neither am I a girl that feels like I have to open my legs to get anywhere. Like, if that's the route I gotta go, I'm good. Let me find another route. But then I've come across a whole lot of real dudes that were like, you want to do this? And like, they really test me to see like how serious I was. And when they knew I was serious, they're like, all right, cool. I had a homeboy, shout out to DJ JMX in LA, was like, all right, Nyla, you serious? Come through to the club. Came to the club, poppin' spot. I don't remember the name because LA changes all their club names like every other day. But it was a poppin' spot. Prime time hour. I came, I'm hanging with him. He's like, all right, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. And they left me, like literally to handle it. Mind you, this is my beginning DJ stage. But I'm like, okay, you know, I was freaking out, and I may or may not have had a good set. But guess what? He put me on the spot, and he was like, I'm gonna see what you do. And he was like, you know what? You tried to do something. You sat there, you stood your ground. You know what I'm saying? You might not have been the best because, of course, it was the beginning, but that showed him that I was serious. And ever since then, like, I feel like there's just been I've come across a lot of real dudes that really wanted to see me, like, win and knew that I was serious about this, and I wasn't one of those chicks that thought it was cool to DJ or, you know, it's a fad, or I don't really want to learn. I just want to press buttons and take pictures. No, they knew that I was serious. So they're like, you know what, sis? I got you. For me, the issue that I've had more so has been the male promoters.
Yeah.
To me, I feel like those are the ones that always trying to shortchange us, always not giving me the same deal, don't have the same respect. When it's time for you to pay me, I'm running around, chasing you around like a bill collector. You know what I'm saying? Like, those been the ones that I've had the bad experiences with. But once I put my foot down and I showed them that I'm not that chick, like, you're not going to do that, and I don't need your money, I felt like over time, and them knowing that I was, you know, I was dope, that they respected me, but I feel like I've had more issues with them. Like, them just trying to feel like they can shortchange you, or them just trying to want to use you on, Valentine's Day or Women's History.
Or they flyers or whatever they wanted to do.
Month. Yeah, I'm going to put you on the flyer, but I'm going to give you like a 30-minute set. I'm going to put your name real small. But that gave me the ammunition to say, you know what? I'm going to just create my own parties. I'm going to create my own parties. I'm going to go straight to the owners. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to get my girls on. We're going to do our own thing. And after time and time and time, people saw that and they started respecting us. So now I got male DJs that will plug me in a second before they're plugging another guy. Like, Choice is my dude. Choice will plug me in a heartbeat. Every room Choice is in, if I'm near him, the first thing he says is, yo, this is Nyla. She's one of the dopest DJs. He don't say female. He plugs me. He always tells people he's a dope DJ no matter what room he's in. So I appreciate, like, my male counterparts that view me like equally, and they know that I'm dope, and they know that I can handle anything, and, you know, and they don't try to put one over on me.
Yeah, absolutely. No, totally. Literally going off what you're saying. I totally respect that. And I'm super appreciative for some of those guys out there that have helped us, you know, through all of this in a way, because
Chaos has been another one.
Yes, Chaos is fam. I know. Yes, definitely. And Q works with him, I think, at Taj too. So like,
yeah, I'm
know
like,
these
everybody's
guys.
not a dick. Everybody's not a dick, but
yes,
majority of them are.
Yeah.
And like you said, mostly the promoters. Like for me, like the DJs didn't have anything to gain or lose from us.
Right.
It was more so like the people who controlled who got hired, and that's where the respect level was minimal. And we had to like bust through them doors. Like, nah, you gonna respect me, like for me and for who I am. Period.
Right.
Like,
there's not a lot of
compromise.
Yeah, there's not a lot of female promoters either. So that, you know what I'm saying? That doesn't help us in the way, because just like Nyla was saying, that's one of the difficult things that I had issues with. And I was like, why am I going through the middleman? And I just started going to the owners. I just started going to the managers, because I'm sitting here going, I don't understand. Like you all work together. You want to kiss my ass over here. But then when it comes down to paying me and all this, you're pocketing it thinking you getting 20%. You ain't hire me. Exactly. And even if you did pull me on, you're not pulling for me. Like you connect me to whoever, connects the DJs. And that's the thing. Like a lot of people in this game don't understand, because, some people will come in and, I'll do the regular opening fee or whatever it is. But you have to demand respect in this game. And you have to kind of demand like, no, how much is he getting paid? Like I would always ask questions. I would always ask questions.
Add tax on it and stand on it. Add tax and stand on that.
What she just said.
Give it to you. If you got to turn down stuff, turn it down. Because guess what? You making it back for the rest of us. You making it back for the rest of us. If you don't know your worth, sweetheart, they're going to try to, I don't care what that DJ said. This is what I want. You don't want to pay me? Good. You know what I'm
100%.
saying? We gotta understand that we don't. And we deserve the same pay that the rest of these guys get. If not,
I can turn down plenty.
I don't want drink tickets and hookah. I want my money.
No, I want money. Money, yes. Drink tickets and hookah don't pay bills, and that's what they don't seem to understand. I'll hook up your girls with the table and bottle. What you don't understand is that table and that bottle. The table is free, okay, and the bottle probably cost you $10 because you bought it in bulk, okay. So don't sit here and try to get over on us, And that's one thing. Like our intelligence, that insults our intelligence. But that's the thing. A lot of people up and coming, they don't know these things, because like at one point I did it. Like I would just go around and then I'm asking, like I'd find out later, like, hey bro, how much are you getting paid? And I'm like, they paying me $150 and you $500, like for the same hour.
Hours.
You know what I'm saying? And I half the time I was doing even heads, like main sets, like, and I'm going like, wait, you only paying me $250 and he's getting $500 and he only's playing an hour, like, and I'm playing 2, like, you know what I'm saying? So like knowing your worth, knowing how things work. If you have questions or anybody has questions, you guys can always ask us, whatever you guys got to do. Like, because it's really crazy. And like Nyla said, if it wasn't for those few people in the industry, like, I had the Chaoses, the Scram Jones, the DJ Zika is one of my boys, like those guys that are willing to help us and big up us, because we're not competition. Like we all work together. Think about any profession. There's how many type of doctors, how many type of nurses, how many types of chefs. Okay, it goes in the same for the music industry. Like there's so many events, there's so many parties, there's so many different type of things that you can bring to the table.
There's so much music.
So much music.
It acts like you're gonna play the same thing. It's like, bro, I could play circles around you. I'm good.
And it's all about how you play it, because we've been at parties, ladies, and I played a set, you played a set, and the next DJ that might come on after us or whatever, just they might have not heard our song or just played it, but then you could tell, because like the crowd is kind of like, we kind of just heard that, and you could tell by like their reaction. You know what I'm saying?
And that's where go that way.
Exactly. So then you know how to get in, you know how to get out. And it's all about reading your crowd and all this other stuff. And that's a lot of people don't have that like finesse or understanding, or they haven't got to that level yet. And like it goes back to what you're saying earlier, Nyla, it's really a craft and an art what we do. And people really don't understand that, especially with technology and the things that are happening today. People literally think like, I could, do that DJ app. I'm a DJ. Like, no, you're not. I know what hot songs to play. And I'm like, no.
I got iTunes, so I can DJ now. What?
Half the syndicated music on the radio is paid for, people. They're being paid to play this music. That's why you hear 900 of the same songs a day, because they got paid to shove it down your throat.
Right? But they don't even understand that it's gotten so bad with radio stations now that they have like a do not play, a playlist. You have to play. Like if your set is during a certain hour, there's a list of songs.
There's a list.
Play.
Yes,
you have to play. and it's like, oh, you can squeeze these in if you have time. They don't have no this. And I'm talking about syndicated big radio stations. We're not talking about the smaller ones, like, because I think we have 2 here in New York where I've been hearing people go off, and I'm like, yes, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And then there's those radio stations that's like, oh, you can only do this, this, and this, and you're like, well, where's the creativity?
Yeah, no.
Exactly.
Every show sounds the same now. I hate it.
And they take that away from us.
Have you ever listened to a radio station and changed to the next one?
And it's the same song?
Same song.
Yes. Because they're paid to play these things at the same time. Like at the same time, because they give you certain crates and they're like, this is what you could play out of, like Q said, and that's it. Like there's no creativity. And if you do get creativity, they only give it to like higher up DJs that have been doing it for a minute because they don't want to trust new DJs or up and coming DJs that they gonna do their thing.
Listen, and sometimes not even them. Just a little tea. Just a little
exactly.
Sometimes
but see, that's the crazy thing. Like, if you're gonna hire us, you like what we do, let us do what we do.
Exactly.
Like, don't start putting caps on us. Like, oh nah, like change it up.
In the club too, though. That's the same thing in the club. If you hire me, let me do my thug thizzle. Guess what? You a manager. You don't know about DJing. If you did, you would be over here. Let me do what I do. Your crowd is enjoying yourself. Stop policing what I'm playing. When I'm playing it, how I'm playing it,
how you do it, mic drop.
Like, let us play. Like, I always say to people, if you want to control, guess what? You got Tidal, you got Spotify.
Exactly. iTunes, whatever you want.
You can control that and you can do it for free. If you want to hire me, you want me for my creativity, you want me for my ear, you want me for my energy. Let me bring all of that to the table and you sit down and make your money. Okay.
Preach, girl, preach. No,
everything
seriously.
That she said. I'm talking about everything that she said.
Everything she said, we can attest to, we can agree to, we've been through. Like, we would never preach and speak on something that we couldn't relate to or that we haven't been through. And I mean, it's evident to see that 1, 2, 3, all of us have similar stories. And you know what I'm saying? We've all had different paths to bring us to where we got to. So like, you know, there's no coincidence in that. But we also have come out on the top of that. So speaking of moving the crowd, y'all, what are the top songs, or you think before even all this happened, or the top songs you think, give me like 2 or 3 if you want, or whatever, that move the crowd, like that get you moving the crowd. Like, you play this song, no matter what, everybody's going to be like,
girl, let's just say 90s R&B.
Anything pop smoke. Anything
pop smoke, and I'm like 90s R&B. So it's like, depending on, not even depending on the room. It doesn't matter what room you're in at this point in New York City, New Jersey, tri-state area. If you play 90s R&B, everybody's singing and happy, right?
Absolutely.
If you play Pop Smoke, everybody's singing and happy.
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
Yeah.
2 different levels, you get the same reaction. So
That's crazy. That is.
What about you, Rhea? What do you feel like is your, because you're the turn up queen. Like, when Rhea get on the set,
it's immediately like that.
Turn up, like right now. Like, Rhea not gonna give you no time. She's like, I'm on. Guess what? You better be on. Let's go.
I know. I always feel like a party. Like, nah, exactly what you said. Because it's the funniest thing. Like, we haven't had even a lot of crowds to work with, but we're fortunate. We work at Made in Brooklyn. Shout out to Made in Brooklyn. They giving us some paper, you know what I'm saying? They holding us down during this quarantine. Right. But like, to be able to see, just like Q said, like even that spot, like they don't want you to play that much trap, for example, but they let you get away with the here and there. But like when you play that Pop Smoke, everybody, whoa, you know, or the woo, like everyone goes crazy, like everybody. Yeah. And then 90s R&B, like definitely no matter what, hands down, you can't go wrong. You could go with the sing-alongs, you could go with the 2-step songs, like that, like those are my favorite genres to like always mess with. I'm super eclectic. I play all genres, but like the 90s, like growing up in it in general, but like just playing that 90s R&B, that was like, the slowest song would be like the #1 craziest popping song in the club, y'all. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, can we talk? You feel me? Like that type of song.
And it'll get people just like go crazy. Yes.
Exactly. Compared to like, you know, a lot of the music that goes on today. So speaking of just of what you like to play, Nyla, what type of music and genre is your expertise, or do you like to play?
I mean, I love everything, but like honestly, like if somebody was like, yo, I'm gonna give you an hour to play what you want. Yeah, I'm really all over the place, so I might have a day that I would literally just play like some old trap music. But if I could really just play what I want to play, for me it would be 90s hip hop.
Okay.
Like 90s favorite. Like I would definitely play that. But like if I could squeeze in something else, to me it would be old trap. Like that fat thing, that that trapper,
that old T.I., that old Jeezy,
that
Jeezy, old Jeezy. Woo! That was fire.
Jeezy won that battle too, by the way. And
yes, he did.
Jeezy won that battle.
He did. That verses was sick. Yeah. Yo, Q, what about you? If you had an hour to play, Ma, what would you play? What would you put in that mix? Besides freestyle.
I was about to say, so you were saying like what would be my favorite thing to play? And so
what would be your favorite person? Like if someone gave you an hour, what would you like to just go crazy and throw down?
So if I could always get away with it would forever and always be house music. Yes. A lot of people don't know, like that is how I like started it.
Yeah.
My house crates were bananas. They're not that they aren't, but like they're on a hard drive. So like in my computer, they're not anymore. But like my house crates are sick, and that's because that's the music that I was into at the time. Yeah. And even from a kid, like I'm so white on the inside. No offense, but like that was what my friends did. Like, oh, you're so white on the inside. Oh my god. I'm like, yeah, whatever. And so, house music. If I had an hour to tear down, like, and then you had an hour with the right crowd, right place, right everything.
Yeah, I
would so like go for house music and fuck up the place. Like,
I love it. I love it.
I would like all night like this. Like I feel like I don't get to do enough sets where I could play like soulful house music. Like if I could like be like, that's why I like certain places. Like this is why I play at Ode to Babel, where you can just play anything.
Ode to Babel, yes.
Like I like there you can get off playing anything. Like I would love to just do like a 2-hour set of like soulful house music. Like that's the kind of music that just makes me smile and makes me just dance and just have a good time.
That's another thing. People don't even know that there's different genres of house music. So shout out to you.
There's so many different.
Like, Rhea, what about you? What would be your favorite to play?
I would honestly say probably that and reggae. I love reggae. My next question to you was going to be, who's your favorite artist? So since we're right there, I'm going to just start off with that. But it would definitely be 90s hip hop and mostly R&B mix. But definitely some 90s like and 80s old school reggae. Like I love all that old school reggae. So my favorite artist is Bob Marley. I grew up listening to all of Bob Marley. My dad was a huge Bob Marley fan, so I loved Bob Marley. And I love reggae music, island music. I'm not even from the islands or anything, but I love it. And I just love the vibes. And every song you could dance to. Like I literally got into soca and I want to say Afro beats and all of that. Maybe like a few years ago, I went to Bermuda and the Bahamas and I started DJing down there. And I fell in love and I've never looked back. And I'm so happy that is coming to America, like that diaspora, all of that, the African diaspora is like being known because it is huge and you can dance and vibe to all of those, like those beats. That's what I really appreciated. A lot of, people, it's hard, especially us DJing like diverse, obviously crowds to grasp everybody's attention. But, you could play obviously house and dance music, right? That gets everybody going because it's that beat. So like, even if you're not really listening, you're kind of like, okay.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's kind of like, what's this?
Exactly. And it's kind of like the same thing for like Afro beats and like, you just always like
anywhere.
It could be slow Afro beats. It could be, everybody. So like, I really would get into reggae.
Everything.
Yes. Yes. So Q, who's your favorite artist?
Are we talking all time?
All time, yes. Jay-Z? Okay, dope.
And it's cliche, but it's a real thing for me.
Like you holding Brooklyn down though, right?
Yeah, and then number absolutely. And then number 2, goes to Beyonce. So we talking like hip hop and then R&B.
Yep.
Sorry, the king.
I'm gonna have to go with Lynn on both of those. Definitely Jay. Jay is literally my favorite. I could play Jay-Z for 4 hours, like straight. Like, not to mention that my boyfriend is obsessed with Jay-Z. So like getting together with him, like, like this is a Jay-Z house. Like, so yeah. Jay is definitely my favorite.
And y'all two got boos. Y'all two are like Jay-Z and Beyonce. Y'all got your boos. Look at your boo running back there. I see Mr. King Jay-Z over there. I see him in there making his appearance.
I'm like, pretend.
But he wouldn't be, tell him, he wouldn't be who he was without his Beyonce. Just like you know what I'm saying? They wouldn't be who they are without their Beyoncés.
He left. He went through that door back there. But I'm in the middle of cooking. I'm doing a whole lot. I know in your background. So sorry.
No worries.
Beyonce, top two on my list. If I had a top 5 that are alive, like they're top 2. And it just is what it is. Like, I don't know.
I love it. So what I was going to say is what's next for you guys. I was going to go with Qlynn one more time again, because I know she just said she was cooking. Mm-hmm. So to feed off that, I know you have Unicorn Kitchen, and I know you love to cook. So I think you should just make a show or channel, about your Unicorn Kitchen.
You stopped. You was posting.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. She needs to make like a show.
You why. So I can actually speak on this a little bit. So the reason why is that, like Nyla said, COVID has been crazy, but I've been crazy blessed through this time. And so I was blessed enough to buy a home. And I stopped doing it for 2 reasons. One, I needed a bigger space, which I got. God provided. And 2, I wanted to actually get together specific recipes and have a specific genre. Like, okay, this is the type of food you cook. This is the type of food you're gonna cook. I want to have like a 30-minute or less menu, and then like a full course menu, and it's coming, but not the way you think. And when I drop it, y'all are gonna be really surprised. I promise. Like, it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be amazing.
I cannot wait.
So, but yeah, so that's coming with all the instructions and the videos, and it's going to actually turn into a nice show. And then essentially, I do want to drop a cookbook, so that's coming after that. You know what I mean? Like one after the other. As far as what's coming, I'm building on my brand, the hair brand. I'm going to make that pop as big as it can, turning that into something special.
Triple Crown, right? It's called Triple Crown for the people. Tell the people.
Right, Triple Crown Boutique for those who don't know. And it's just I can't speak too much about it, but it's about to be something amazing. And I'm gonna just keep pushing forward. As far as being a DJ, it's gonna forever be a love of mine. It's rooted deep down in me, and even though I'm disconnected, I'm trying my hardest to get back connected, because it's still there. It's like, you gotta go do this, or somebody calls me and I'm like, oh, I'm on the way. You know what I mean? So I'm just going to keep focusing on those things. 2023, hopefully I'll be a married woman by then. And all my kids will be off to college. I'm so tired of these children.
I cannot. I don't even know how old these kids are, because you look like you're in your 20s, miss.
Because in my mind, I'm still 21. I just want y'all to know that. In my mind, I'm still 21.
I think that's why we all look like this, because we think that in our heads.
Exactly. So, really quickly, I have 6 kids. 5 of them are bonus kids. A lot of people don't know that about me. And so they're like, 6 kids, you birds? I'm like, no, 5 of them are bonus children. And so I have a 21-year-old. Well, he's about to be 21. 21 in February. Almost out of college. 17 going on 18. 2 15-year-olds. My child that I birthed is 14, and then my youngest is 13 going on 14. And there you have it.
Wow. You have the Brady Bunch going on in your crib. Like, legit, like that photo that you guys posted, if you check out her IG, Qlynn online, I love that photo that you guys posted. That is a Jay-Z, Beyonce family looking photo with you and all the kids.
The famous bunch. They call it a famous bunch.
The famous bunch. That's what we're going to call you guys. The famous bunch. I freaking love it. And that was an epic photo. That puts it all together. And it was beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Sis, I'm so proud of you, and I'm wishing you all the luck in everything that you do, and much success.
And you know what I'm saying?
We got to get that hair going. Like, if you don't know Qlynn, she tomorrow she might have blonde short bob on. Okay, she is the master. That unicornness, she is the master of the disguise. Like every week, I'm like, girl, I need to come over. Like, how you change your hair? Like, she'll have braids like now, and then a full Beyonce blowout tomorrow.
Yeah. What's the line Megan said? Switch it up, make you feel like you cheating. That's
She's next.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
She's
Look at that. Yes, honey. And they got
Rhea,
names, right?
whenever
Who's that? Who's
I
that?
don't
What's
even
her
remember.
name?
I don't even know her name, to be honest with you. I named her and put her up. I do know that my favorite is my Brooke. That's my favorite.
Okay, my
Brooke is my favorite. But Rhea, don't slip, because I got them. I can get them clippings real good, because I know you always natural. So
Yes, girl.
I
need some clipping. Yeah, I want that. You know, I need that. I want that. This is too short for me. This is like here. I want it to cover my boobs.
It's good. I'm saying when you want to go full, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Right. Give it that Rapunzel.
Exactly. I love
it. What's next for you, babe? Tell me.
Yes, beautiful. Talk to us. Tell the people.
I'm trying to book a sitcom. I'm trying to book that next movie role alongside Denzel. What's up? Holla at me. No, but really, that is on my vision board to like book a national commercial, a sitcom, movie role. Like it's there. Like,
I love it.
Like I feel it. So that's there. The Gold Aura, which is a company that I started, like I said, is candles, diffusers, room sprays, hand soaps. Like that's a whole movement. I'm trying to get this out before Christmas so I can get y'all to spend y'all coins.
Exactly. I need the link for that. You got to send me the link. We got to share the link. You know how we spread love.
So that's that. What I said, the acting. My son, he's 7. So that's a whole thing in itself. And just to me, just tapping into more hustles. Like I don't want to stop. Like I want to do more. Like what
absolutely.
That God got for me, I just want to just tap in. I just want to tap in. You know what's crazy? You know what I want to actually learn that I've been wanting to do for the longest, and watching a show has given me even more passion to do it, because I'm like, okay, I need to be on that show season 2.
Yeah.
I want to learn how to pole dance. So like, yes, I would love to be on P Valley. So literally, so that's something that I want to learn. Yes. Now I'm keeping my clothes on, but I want to literally I want to learn how to do the trick.
No, I don't want you to keep your clothes on.
Yes.
I cannot.
If you're going to do it, you got to be out there like swing.
Nyla,
like this.
I could so see you on that. Shout out to my girl Shannon Thorne.
Right.
She is MIS crooked. Yeah, she's Mississippi.
She's
so yeah, shout out to my homegirl. Yeah, but no, that's crazy.
That's
you would fit that role though, Nyla. Like I could see you on that role, girl.
Talk to them, Rhea. Tell them, Rhea, who you gotta talk to make.
I don't know. We gotta talk to somebody. But you have a very commercial look and TV.
Like North chick that come, they like, who's this chick from New York that come on the show?
Exactly.
You know, the drama and trouble. Yes, you see the script.
So listen, my childhood friend, her brother Avery, he actually, his girlfriend is one of the #1 pole dancers in the country. She wins medals. I will hook you up. Foxy Pole Fitness is what it's called. They're located, and they're located on 30th and 7th Avenue. You could look them up. That's the studio. See, look how it's all connecting. But it's called Foxy Pole Fitness, and it's beautiful and artistic. It's not like sexual in the house, Yankee and all this other stuff. Like it's sexually artistic.
Oh my God, that's how I want to do it. Like I want to be literally like I mean, shout out to the girls and Starless and all that. Love to y'all, but I want to learn the artistic side of it. I want to be like climbing the ceiling and coming down.
Lion.
I'm gonna connect you because literally she wins these contests, and like you have to watch pole dancing competitions. They don't just do one pole. They do 2 poles.
Oh my God, they're amazing.
You got to work the 2 poles. Like it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
It's an art.
Yes, girl, it's an art. So I will connect you and make that happen.
Yes. Catch
my ladies.
To a Stars. Thank you. P Valley, I'll be on there.
I love that show, by the way. I love that show. I know, ladies, we've been going for an hour already, and we have so much to talk about. I don't want to hold you guys any longer. You know what I'm saying? I'm so proud of you guys, and I love you, and I'm so blessed to work with you and just be friends and have this sisterhood bond, all because of Dee Jay. It wouldn't have been possible. Probably I would have not crossed paths with you ladies if it wasn't for that. Who knows? But that has brought us together. And the art and the force is female. You know what I'm saying? So like, I appreciate you ladies so much and what you do. And I know we always big up each other. And I always know we help challenge each other and keep grinding whatever we do. So I really love you guys.
Love you, ladies. Thank you.
I love you guys.
Just shout out your IGs. I know Nyla's up there.
Forever.
Yeah. And I know Q's down there, but plug in your IGs where we could find you, your music real quick. Go Q.
So it's XO_Qlynn. I've changed it. I feel like I'm not just a DJ. I'm so much more. So I changed my name. But you can see in my bio everything that I do, all of my businesses that I run, and holla at me there. DM.
Yes. Check out her SoundCloud link. She has a bunch of mixes on there as well on her page, on her
everything
bio.
Is on there.
And Nyla, what you got, girl? What you got?
DJ NYLA. Yes, so that's my IG. My goal, or I'm working on a page right now, but I will literally have that up in my bio of the DJ Nyla, so you'll be able to follow that and see that. And very soon, I think I'm gonna make kind of a change to my IG as well, and changing my name as well, and kind of embracing my birth name, because I just need people to understand that it's more than Nyla now. Like, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Fatu.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, so I'm gonna just start posting more content about other things that I have going on. Like, you know, I've done a lot of like scenes and classes that I want to start putting up on my page. I've been taking a dialect class, so I've been learning how to speak in a British accent. So it's a lot more things like I don't really show my personal side on my page, so I'm gonna start posting more personal things. So if you guys follow me, you'll get to know a little bit more about Nyla as well as Fatu.
I love it. I freaking love it. And by your name, like, your name is so beautiful, Fatu. Like, I don't even know, like, DJ Fatu, you know what I'm saying? Coming to you, DJ Fatu, coming to you on the ones and twos.
Hey,
see, we just gave you a whole hook there, girl. You know what I'm saying?
I need that
your whole intro.
You got to record that drop for me.
We will. Like, Q, me and you got to put it together.
On the ones and twos, coming
to you.
And you gotta say it real. You gotta say it real sexy.
I cannot.
You gotta say it just like that. I love you, ladies, so much.
Fun. We gotta do this again.
This was so much fun.
Absolutely.
Yes,
absolutely.
Yes, and you already know what time it is. We about to turn
also
into,
in person,
right? Turn the tables. Pretty Lou is on. You know what I'm saying? We got to support our DJ family.
Absolutely.
So as soon as we get off on this, let's go check that out.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
I love you, ladies.
See y'all
once again. You guys are the best, and thank you for tuning in to Maria in the Mix.